Hey VC, what's up? It's me, yours truly. I am back to post a quick video here, kind of some recent vinyl finds. Also a couple of tapes and a couple of CDs I picked up at a Goodwill as well. But mainly just kind of doing a vinyl update video. I haven't done a vinyl one in a while because I still haven't really been buying a lot of stuff lately. Just haven't had a lot of the extra money to buy a bunch of stuff, and I don't know, I guess the bigger my collection grows, it seems like the more things I want tend to be more costly items. The dollar bins don't fill my collection as much as they used to, so I just kind of noticed I don't have as many vinyl find videos that are popping up regularly, but whenever I do get some decent stuff in, I'm going to make a video and show you guys. So I'm going to show you some things that have come in based over the last week or so, or 2 weeks or so. Oh, before I do that, playing in the background, we have this right here, which is Destroyer, Kaput. Really nice 2 LP set. I don't know if you guys are familiar with them or not. Just found some cool stuff. But that's what's playing in the background. And now let's start off with some of the recent vinyl finds. I'm going to start off with the one that I've actually had for a while, but I've been kind of waiting to make a video until I got some other stuff in place. But it is Derek 2, and I don't know, I think my copy is kind of extra special because not only is it a very, very low number copy, I was lucky enough to catch Derek's video when he first started selling them, like right at the beginning, so I got an extremely low number. But then also, the D-Man signed it for me. So that's pretty cool. I remember when I was just seeing the cover when he was showing it, it was just jumping out at me, like that little yellow area right there was just begging for his signature. So I sent him a little email, and D-Man was nice enough to sign it for me before he sent it off. So not only did I get a nice low number, but I also got a nice autographed copy, which is really cool. And of course, I did get the orange vinyl, which is very cool. And so good stuff. My copy of Derek 2. The next one, which is one I've wanted for quite some time, and I was pretty happy to get my hands on this. Sepultura, Roots. Which, Roots, Bloody Roots, one of my favorite songs by them. That song has so much freaking power behind it. I love it to death, so I was really happy to get this in the mail the other day. Nice 2 LP set, 180 gram black vinyl. Good stuff. Here's one I stumbled across in a music store yesterday. One of my favorite bands from, or groups I should say, from back in the mid to late 80s in terms of on the hip-hop side of things. And this was their sophomore album, which is EPMD's Unfinished Business, which was the follow-up to one of my favorite hip-hop albums of all time, which was EPMD's Strictly Business. I like these guys a lot because they were really, really old school. They used a lot of, old funk type stuff as far as the things that they sampled and everything, and I always loved them, so I was really happy to find a copy of this. Not the most expensive record in the world, but it doesn't exactly pop up everywhere, so really, really happy to get a copy of that. Let's see, next here, Mr. Crayoni. This is something that might turn your head a little bit, because I know we were talking the other day. You showed this cassette, and I was saying how I had never seen it on cassette and didn't know they actually had a cassette out, but I certainly did not know they had this on vinyl. But I found a copy of New Edition's Greatest Hits, Volume 1 on vinyl. Had no idea they had pressed this, and I was walking through a store about a week or so ago, and it was just sitting up there on the shelf, only for a few bucks, which was really nice. And there was actually a little note that they put inside of it, and it said, "You rarely see this on vinyl." And I was just like, no kidding. But so yeah, that was a really, really exciting find too. I've had this CD for years, but again, had no idea they actually pressed it. So that was a good find. This is another good one here. And I actually found this in a dollar bin, which is really cool. This is Riot Thunder and Steel. And this was really good too because, you know, I've always heard about Riot, and, you know, I've stumbled across a couple of their records in the past. I can't remember the name of the one that's kind of like an all-black color, and then Riot is written kind of a reddish and orangish kind of shade or whatever. I know there was that one and a couple others. I've always just kind of, you know, I've taken them out and thrown them on and listened to a few moments here and there, and just never really liked it that much. I never really caught on to what they were doing. Because I know Eddie Trunk on that metal show, he talks about them all the time and, you know, gives them all kind of praise and everything. And I was just like, I'm just not digging this stuff. But this particular record, you know, again, I saw it for $1, and I was like, well, let me give Riot another try, and I picked it up. And I mean, this one was kind of wow, in a sense. I mean, this is really different than a lot of the other stuff that although I mean, it's probably only been like 2 or 3 other albums when I say a lot of the other stuff that I've heard from them. But much more metal on this album compared to the other stuff that I've heard. And I mean, I loved it to death. There was pretty much, out of all the songs on there, there were like 8 of them that I thought were actually really good songs. So it ended up being a really, really good album. So I'm happy to finally get some Riot in my collection. A couple other dollar bin finds. Actually, all the rest of these are not Goodwill finds, what we have here. 12-inch single of the Bar-Kays, Freak Show on the Dance Floor. If you guys remember that classic, not dance hit, more of R&B / dance hit. But that was a good, I got that at Goodwill for 99 cents. Also picked up another 12-inch at the Goodwill, which was, this is the Village People, YMCA and Macho Man 12-inch. Really interesting too because, I don't know, it has YMCA and Macho Man on one side. Then the other side says special one-sided record, play other side. So there's nothing on the second side. But it's weird, I guess I've never seen this before. There's about 3 or 4 minutes of regular tracking where there's, you know, no music or anything playing. It's just like, it's blank. And then it has like an inch of dead wax that goes to another section of 4 or 5 minutes of just blank tracking, and then another ½ an inch of dead wax, and then another section of about 4 minutes of track. So I have no idea why they did that, but I just thought it was kind of interesting because I'd never seen a one-sided single that did that on the blank side. It was kind of weird. So I played the whole thing thinking that maybe there's like some little funny message that they're going to throw in somewhere along the line, and they didn't. It's just blank all the way through all those sections. But anyway, another good dollar bin find, or Goodwill find, Frank Sinatra's Greatest Hits. 1025 on Reprise. And I have a lot of different Frank Sinatra's, not a lot, I mean I have a few different Frank Sinatra pieces, but I really picked this one up because it was in such great shape. I mean, obviously it's probably not going to show up on the video here, but the vinyl is in mint condition. It plays without a single pop or scratch. It's one of those, you know, those old, really heavy duty cardboard covers, still in the shrink, so no creases, no writing, no anything. I mean, almost like it came right out of the store with the exception of that rip right there in the shrink wrap. And it was just in great condition, and that's the thing that really caught my eye about it. But yes, I picked that up, and typically these are going for about 10 to 15 bucks for this particular copy, so to find that for 99 cents at a Goodwill and in a near mint condition, I thought was pretty cool find. And the last of my dollar bin finds, it's a nice 2 LP set of Cream, Wheels of Fire. So that was another very good pickup. Of course, this has White Room and Spoonful on it. It's a nice 2 LP set, also in really good condition, and to find that for $1 was also another very good find. So those are the vinyl finds that I had, and then there's a couple other, I'll show you the few cassettes and CDs that I picked up at the Goodwill as well. And these have actually been sitting around a while. I might have shown you these two already, but you have Blues Traveler 4. I almost got the name of the album really quick. which of course has Run Around and all that good stuff on there. I think I have shown these two. Johnny Hates Jazz. Found a really nice copy of this on vinyl at a Goodwill too, but I didn't pick it up because I know I already have a good copy. It's only 99 cents. But if anyone's really looking for this album, the LP, let me know and I'll run back down there tomorrow and grab it for you. It's, again, only 99 cents. But they had Shattered Dreams was their big hit. And I do have this on vinyl, but I found the cassette, which is Bobby Darin, Mac the Knife, one of my favorite songs by him. And then, see, I was listening to this last night. I also picked up Duran Duran, which is self-titled. And that's why it's not in here, because it's in my cassette deck. But this is a really good album, too. It came out in 1993, when Duran Duran was supposedly kind of, done, one of the 80s bands of the past. But two of my favorite songs by them ever are really on this album, which is Come Undone and Ordinary World. I think those are incredible songs, so it was really nice to find this cassette. And then the very last thing I'll show you here will be the CDs that I picked up. Again, $1 a piece, or $2 a piece actually. I've got Skid Row, Slave to the Grind, which I was really happy to find. I've had this on cassette for some time, but I've been wanting to get the CD and the vinyl for quite some time now, so looks like the CD came first. I really like this because it's definitely a lot harder of an album than your typical 80s hair Skid Row. I know that they got pretty down and dirty on this album, which is really cool, so I was very happy to find that. Also, Raphael here. This is Ray Ray. You remember the lead singer from Tony. I have one of his albums that's pretty good, so I just, when I saw this one, I thought, let me pick it up and check it out. So far, I've only listened to a couple of songs, and it's okay, but we'll see what happens as we go through the rest of it. This is another very nice find for only $2. Etta James, Love Songs. That's a really good pickup. And Europe. Couldn't pass that up for only $2. This is Out of the World. This is the one that has Superstitious on it. And the classic Sir Mix-a-Lot. This is the one that has Baby Got Back. There's actually some other really good songs on here. I mean, his lyrics and stuff, are nothing to write home about. It's kind of, but then again, I don't bust on it because he was still kind of doing the more fun thing in rap as opposed to the gangster thing, so to speak. So I've always liked him for that, trying to keep it some amusement and fun and hip hop at the time. And then Dr. Dre's Chronic came along, and that just kind of stomped out all this kind of stuff. But still, there's some really kind of good old school beats that he has in here, so it's fun stuff to listen to, which is nice. Anytime a rap or hip hop CD can be labeled as fun, I think that's always a very positive thing. Another good old school classic for me, Heavy D and the Boys. This is big time. Some of the old school stuff that I love to death. Love it. And on here, all kind of good stuff. I mean, We Got Our Own Thing. Somebody for Me, More Bounce to the Ounce, which of course takes the sample from Roger and Zapp's More Bounce to the Ounce. So really, really good old school stuff there. I do have this on vinyl as well, so having the CD is nice. And last but not least, soundtrack to Brown Sugar. I don't know if you guys have ever seen this movie before, about a hip-hop journalist and blah blah blah, but okay stuff on here, but really the only reason I picked this one up, even though it was only $1 or $2, was because Cassandra Wilson does a cover of Cyndi Lauper's Time After Time on this, which is a really, really good, smooth track. So, again, very nice to have that as well. So anyway, as you can see, as I said, not spending a lot right now on music and things of that nature, but still picking up things as I find them. That's kind of what I've grabbed over the last couple weeks, and as always, let me know what you guys think. All right, take care, VC.